It's called a shell bill. It's called a shell game. That's what they're doing here.
So the House has already moved through a new shell bill. It was a NASA bill that had been going back and forth between the House and the Senate. They stripped all of the NASA language out, and they inserted two laws. The voting H.R. 4, the Voting Rights Act, which is the John Lewis bill, and S. 2747, which is Joe Manchin's Freedom to Vote Act. What this does, this legislative move, it allows them to get around the first potential filibuster, which is to even open debate.
The House stripped an existing bill involving NASA, took the language out of the NASA bill. I mean, understand this. Took that language out, then came back and substituted the election law language. We're going to get into the particulars of that in order to get it to the floor.
That is how insistent Washington, D.C. Democrats are on taking over control of the elections.
It's like sending a letter to someone and you've got it addressed and stamped, and you take the letter out of the envelope, put another letter in, and yet try to convince people it's okay, it's the same letter.
How in the world could they possibly actually pull this on the American people? They're doing it by sleight of hand, but the substance of the bill is still horrible.
It's a sleight of hand, but the only thing they did with that sleight of hand is they got the bill onto the Senate floor. There will still have to be a vote on whether or not they're going to change the filibuster to actually get it over the line.
I want to make it clear. They would still have to either change the filibuster rule at the end, so fail to get the 60 votes to end debate, and then have a vote. The timeline on this, very quick. We're looking at potentially tonight.
The differential of getting this through or not, it was a couple of votes. Democratic votes, I might add.
It's Manchin and Cinema and maybe Kelly, the other senator from Arizona. But it's that slide. Those are the people that are going to make the difference as to whether or not we have federal election control or whether we do it on the constitutional way, and that is the states control the times, method, and manner of elections.
If Senator Cinema is taking the position that she's not going to vote to break the filibuster, what does that do to their analysis?
Cloture to end debate would fail. Then he would try to nuke the filibuster. And without Senator Cinema's vote, here's the key point. Without her vote, he can't change Senate precedent, and he would still have to get 60 votes to end debate. It would end right there, Jay.
If they knew they were going to lose, why would they take the risk of doing this?
The honest opinion here, I think Leader Schumer thinks that he has to have this vote to fend off his left flank against a primary from AOC. I mean, that sounds very political, Jay, but that really does look like the motivation to me.
The left wing of the Democratic Party, the progressive wing of the party, has gotten so aggressive that Schumer, who is a tactician, okay, he's a smart guy. We don't agree with a lot of policies, obviously, but he would not be taking this risk if he was not getting pressed to do it. You don't go into something knowing you don't have, now maybe this is all becoming now and they're all playing it close to the vest. I don't know. But to me, it seems like that's a heck of a risk.
So Senator Cotton got on the Senate floor. He gave a speech, and it ends with a very careful point.
Constitutional scholars will tell us that the reason we have these rules in the Senate, unlimited debate, 2/3 to change the rules, the idea that 60 have to close off debate, is embodied in the spirit and rule of the Constitution. The bottom line is very simple. The ideologues in the Senate want to turn the Founding Fathers, what the Founding Fathers called the cooling saucer of democracy, into a rubber stamp of dictatorship. Those are powerful words, but they're not mine. Every word of my speech today was originally spoken by our esteemed colleague, the senior senator from New York, Chuck Schumer.
This is politics, political theater going on right now. I think Tom Cotton was brilliant in doing that, quoting all that and saving it till the end. And by the way, that was Chuck Schumer who said that.
We know if this goes on this track, the only way this moves forward legislatively to Joe Biden's desk is if Chuck Schumer can convince Cinema, Kelly, and of course Joe Manchin to go along with abolishing the filibuster to some extent.